These are 8 tips to know if it's worth it to fix and flip a property by Max Chera of Express Capital Financing. Fix and flip is a real estate strategy in which investors purchase a property, make improvements to increase its value, and then quickly resell it for a profit. Fix and flips have a great financial benefit. The best and most significant benefit is the fact that you can get a high return on your investment, or ROI. Fix and flips typically involve buying a distressed property, making necessary repairs, and then selling it for a profit. Common mistakes fix and flip investors make. First, not estimating the repair costs. It is extremely easy for repair costs to get out of control because there may be some unseen repairs that need to be made. So it's important to go in and make an accurate estimate as best as you possibly can, and put in some overage in there as well, because it's life and it's going to happen. 2, not understanding the market. Fix and flip investors should have an in-depth understanding of their local market so they can properly price for their properties for sale. 3, not planning ahead for financing. Many fix and flippers fail to plan ahead when it comes to financing their investments, which can lead to costly delays that eat into their profits. 4, underestimating the time commitment. Like the money can get out of control, the time can get out of control, because dealing with contractors can be a pain in the butt and extend your time. And then if you have to find a new contractor, or if you end up doing the work yourself, you're going to be costing yourself time, because that's time taken away from what you can be doing somewhere else that the contractor was supposed to be doing in the first place. So fixing up properties takes time and requires attention to detail. Successful fix and flip investors must be prepared to commit themselves fully during the rehabbing process, or risk running over budget or missing deadlines due to the lack of oversight. Number 5, failing to protect yourself legally. Now, it's important for fix and flippers to take legal precautions before investing in real estate by consulting with an attorney about title searches, liens, zoning laws, environmental regulations, and things of that nature, especially if you're dealing with homes that have been sitting for a while and that are in disrepair. Sometimes the titles get kind of murky if you have someone that's passed away and you're dealing with heirs or family that can't be found. So just make sure you're protecting yourself legally. How to evaluate fix and flip properties. First, research the local market. Before investing in a fix and flip, it's important to conduct a thorough research of the local market. See what's coming there, see what's there, see what's going on in the city, what's going on in the neighborhood you're planning on buying in. Closely related to the last point, you need to pay close attention to your purchase price, because that's what's going to be your best and your biggest punch when it comes to your ROI. You want to buy low, put in your rehab money, and then sell it at a great profit. So your purchase price is going to make the difference in that. 3, potential buyers. It's important to consider your potential buyers, what they want in this area, what they like, and it's important not to overbuild or over rehab a property based on where it is as well. 4, real estate agents. Real estate agents can be a valuable resource when it comes to evaluating fix and flip properties. 5th, you want to inspect the property. I know in the past few years there have been a lot of sight unseens and buying as is, but once you have an idea of what kind of return you can expect to get from a fix and flip, it's important to conduct a thorough inspection of the property before investing. 6, calculate your financing. After you research the market and inspect the property, it's important to calculate your financing options. So don't just go with one. See what all of your options are to see which one is going to suit you best as far as interest is concerned and what you have to pay out versus what your return on investment is going to be. Private lenders are an important part of real estate fix and flip processes. Private lenders provide short-term financing to investors who are looking to buy a property to renovate it or sell it for a profit. Now, 8, you want to use the 70% rule of thumb method. And that is, don't put in more than 70% when dealing with a fix or flip property. So for example, if a property is worth $200,000 and you're going to be putting $25,000 in repairs, then you shouldn't pay any more than $115,000, because $115,000 plus the $25,000 in repairs equals $140,000, which is 70% of $200,000. The repairs rehab costs. When evaluating a fix and flip property, one of the most important factors to consider is the overall cost of repairs and rehabs. This is because these costs can significantly affect the potential return on investment, or your ROI, from a real estate project. Material costs. One of the largest costs for house flippers is going to be material costs. Calculating an accurate estimate of material costs can be critical for determining whether or not a project will be profitable. The square footage of a potential fix and flip property gives investors an idea of how much they can expect to spend on renovations, as well as how much they can make when it comes time to sell. Additional costs. So this was the overhead or the extra cost that I said to add on to your budget in the first place. When you're evaluating a fix and flip, it's important to consider all of the costs associated with the project. They can add up so quickly it will blow your mind, from materials and labor for renovations. Also, you have the cost of buying and selling, like your closing costs, taxes, financing, insurance, legal fees, utilities during the renovation period. You have your food, and depending on how far the property is from you, you have gas that you have to take into account. You have staging costs if you choose to go that route, and so many other things that you may not even think about. So that's why it's important to really evaluate how much you may have to put into a property and add on an extra cushion to that budget. I promise you it will come in handy. It will be great to have if you need it, but if you don't account for it or make any room for it, then you'll be in a crunch when it comes to a point where you actually may need it. Ways to keep costs down on fix and flips is hiring a professional. If you do decide to hire a professional, then get several bids. Don't just put all of your eggs in one basket. Let different contractors come in and bid on your project, okay? So it may seem like it's a more expensive option on the surface, but you'll get a more accurate price, and your repairs will be done quickly and efficiently, effectively, because you have a contract in place. Then you can also do it yourself. Now, doing it yourself is going to cost you some time and some extra money, because time is money. So if you're doing it yourself, then you will move at a slower pace, but you'll be getting what you want because you're doing it yourself. So fixing and flipping a property involves various costs: the purchase price, renovation costs, carrying costs, and all of these other things. So doing it yourself might save you a little bit of money, as far as in addition to these other things that you will have coming out of your pocket. The purchase price is obviously what you pay for the property, and rehab costs include all materials and labor necessary to repair and refresh your property. So you'll be saving on that labor portion. So if you think you're ready for your first fix and flip, then they can be really lucrative investment opportunities if they are done right. Of course, your first one may not be done right, because it is definitely a learning curve and an experience. I can tell you that firsthand. So to ensure your success, it's important to research your market, inspect the property, search for different financing options, and make sure you have a good budget in place and estimating your costs effectively. So when you are evaluating the worth of a fix and flip properties, just use these tips to help you out. We are also in the process of doing a fix and flip right now. It's not our first. However, with everything, there comes new experiences, new learning curves, and we've definitely learned a lot in this. So I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. And if you have fixed and flipped, if you're thinking about fixing and flipping, or if you're an experienced investor with fix and flips, please let me know what you think about this list, and I look forward to hearing from you. Be blessed.